Can you guess what this is? This is an ecosystem. I showed you a picture of an ecosystem of like a pond area, like a marine kind of area. And yesterday I also showed you an ecosystem of a polar region. Can you guess what kind of ecosystem this would be? Maybe not something that you would think of. Now, if you visited this type of ecosystem, I don't think you would step in and see all of these things in one place. But they are found in that particular ecosystem all over the world. All right, so this is an ecosystem of the desert. Okay, now, again, I travel to Sahara Desert, I jump out of a plane, I land in the Sahara Desert. This may not be what I see, but there are different deserts all over the world, and those different deserts would have some of these things in different deserts around the world. Probably not all in one desert, but can you look at this and identify some of the living and the non-living things? The living things are always easy to find. You have the scorpion, the spider, the snake, of course, the armadillo, you've got the cacti. But the non-living things like the dirt on the ground or the mountains in the background or the sky or the clouds, those are the things that would be considered non-living. All right, so let's look at today. All right, Tuesday the 5th. This is where you would have clicked to see today's video. So here's what we are doing today. All right, so you're going to be reading an article called Environments. And let me go ahead and just put that in italics because that's what it's supposed to be. You're going to be reading an article called Environments on the next few slides. When you're reading Environments, I want you to be thinking about how the living and the non-living things interact with each other and how the environmental changes affect the plants and the animal habitats, okay? So you're going to be reading here about environments, talking about what are the parts of an environment, okay, and what an organism is. You're going to continue reading on how the parts of an environment support the different populations and the communities that are in an ecosystem and the difference between a community and a population. Continuing reading about the ecosystem, predators, how they survive, all right, and then how do the environmental changes affect an organism? Because when the environment changes, it affects the organisms, okay? Think right now, COVID, and how that has changed our environment. We are organisms, okay? And the changes that we've had to make because of COVID has definitely affected us, okay? You'll be reading about droughts. You'll be reading about habitats. You'll be reading about animals that hibernate and migrate. And then you'll also be reading and looking about what happens when there's something detrimental that happens in a particular area, like a forest fire right here. What happens when you have a forest fire? What comes after that, okay? So definitely make sure you are reading this because there are several times throughout this week's lessons and in the quiz on Friday that you will be needing the information from here. So if you have not read this, go ahead and pause now and read this article about environments. All right, so I hope that you read that about environments because we're going to be doing a lot with that over the next week. All right, so it says you'll be given a list of animals, environmental changes, and animal actions on the next slide. Take those and match the correct animal, environmental change, and action. So there'll be 3 things that you're matching together, okay? You're going to move the icon to the environmental change and the action to complete the sentence. Make sure you read your sentences to make sure they make sense, okay? So I'm going to show you on the next page what that is going to look like. So here you have this right here, okay? And it does say, carefully follow the instructions on the previous slide to be sure to watch the video for how to complete the activity below. All right, so what you're going to need to do is you see here where it says, I am a duck. You're going to have to fit the sentence, I am a duck, with one of the environmental changes and then one of the actions right here, okay? So I am a duck is going to fit with something in this column and then something in this column, okay? So, for instance, you might have something like this. I am a duck who, and then take this duck. You'll be able to move these ducks around. So this stays here so that you know what icon goes with it. I'm a duck who hibernates in a cave. No. I'm a duck who migrates south across the ocean. Okay, so here's the thing. Ducks do migrate, but not across an ocean. I'm a duck who migrates south to find a pond. That sounds like a duck would do that. I'm a duck who drops my leaves. No. I'm a duck who grows very quickly. I'm not too sure. I'm a duck who can live a long time without water. Nope, that is definitely not a duck. So I think it sounds like this one. I'm a duck, ... who migrates south to find ponds. Okay, and then this other duck right here needs to come with one of these parts of the sentences. Okay? All right, I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds when snow covers my food in the winter. That's a possibility. I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds in the dry desert. Nope. I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds when it rains a lot. I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds that are not frozen over. Oh, that one sounds good too. Okay, so I'm thinking this one sounds good, and I'm thinking that one sounds good. I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds to get away from the icy ocean water. I don't think so. I'm a duck who migrates south to find ponds when it gets cold in the winter. That one sounds good too, okay? But here's the thing. I specifically mentioned going south to find a pond that goes with one of these. So I think it might be this one, or this one, or this one, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that it is this one, okay? Because those other two are going to fit with something else better. So I just did the first one with you, so now you'll continue from here. I'm a bear. I'm a bear, and you'll take this, and if you think I'm a bear who drops my leaves in the desert, okay? If that makes sense to you, then that makes sense to you. Just remember, when you're done, to go back and reread your sentence to make sure that it all makes sense, okay? All right, so obviously that is not the answer. And then really quickly before we go, I wanted to tell you that I want you to put a a yellow smiley face up here in the top right-hand corner. Your yellow smiley face in the top right-hand corner to let me know that you heard everything in this video. All right, I think that's it for today. Have a great rest of your day. I thought this was a fun activity. Aren't those cute? I made those little icons. I thought they were cute. Okay, thank you for listening and have a great day.